Friends, now we will be talking about creativity and innovation at workplace, and in this topic we will be covering the difference between creativity and innovation. Second, we will be discussing about the innovation at workplace, and third, we will mention about the techniques for idea generation. Coming to the first point, workplace creativity is generally concerned with organizational products, services, processes and procedures, and it focuses on the production of new and useful ideas in the context of these product, services, processes and procedures. And when you mention about creativity ideas in the workplace, if it is implemented, that is called the innovation at workplace. As I mentioned earlier, implemented creativity is innovation, and there are two, one side there is a input, other side there is a output. In the input side, in the organization, there are creative persons, groups and organizations, and in the output side we have the products, services and processes. But in between that there is a transformation from input to output, from creativity persons, groups and organizations, it goes to product, services and process. In between there is a transformation takes place, and that is the situation or the environment in the organization which will be conducive to the creative process. So, therefore, in the context of the organization, innovation is the interplay between individual creativity and environmental creativity, that is the driving force of innovation in any organization. Take an example, a company manufactures glassware. The last step of the process is to wrap the glasses individually in used newspaper and then place them in a specially designed box. The box is then sealed. Management notices low productivity with this last step, observing that workers are occasionally stopped to read the newspaper. What can management do to increase the productivity? The idea may come to your mind that we will not use the newspaper anymore, and if you use any other substance for wrapping up the glasses, then in that case you have to match with the cost, whether the cost is higher or lower than this, lower cost is preferred, or you may find out some other ways how the glasses can be wrapped, so that it will be put in the designated box. Likewise, various alternatives are required to sort out this simple problem what the company is facing, and it can be only sorted out when the employees, those who are doing the job, management who is directing to do the job or involving to do the job, and the company procurement department which is procuring the materials, all these people need to involve in order to make to go for a creative solution or go to a creative solution or a innovation in this case. And as you can recall, creativity in the organization is never a linear process, because for the ideas to create in a specific context, one must have the knowledge of the customer's needs, must have the knowledge of the market, must have the knowledge of the technology development, and must have the knowledge of changes in the external environment, and at the same time it will also look into company strategy, whether it is going for quality product or cost optimization, etc. And also the person who are involved to make this creativity, they must be aware about the scientific advances in these particular fields. And at the same time, what it requires? It requires screening and business analysis, and at the same time opportunity identification. If you are developing the idea and the technology, it requires opportunity identification, and that will lead to the development of the product. And after the product is developed, then there will be commercialization, market penetration, and then the organization will sustain financially. So, therefore, if you look at this figure, you will be finding that creativity is never a linear process. But at the same time, there are many benefits of more innovation in the organization. If the innovation will be there, then the group which is accountable for the creativity or the representative of the different people in the organization, they require to share the information. There will be joint initiative by the group, and there must be integrated policy in the organization, and there must be investment in the R&D, and if you are making a product or a service, then it will be benchmarked with others whether the service is better compared to features, cost and other dimensions. And because better efficiency and cheaper products and services are more attractive than those offered by the competitors. And to foster innovation, we have to not only this is the issue, but we have to ensure that the organization structure and process optimize both creativity and innovation. And also it requires that in order to make the creativity, it requires the training of the people for developing their creative capacity, then only creativity will happen or innovation will take place. Let you answer one question: how many organizations that exist today, but that are not open to creativity and innovation and willing to change will still exist in 10 years time? How many organizations that exist today, but they are not open to creativity and innovation and willing to change will still exist in 10 years time? The question is this. That means, the organizations are not willing to go for innovation. So, if they are not willing to go for innovation, will they exist after 10 years? Perhaps none will exist, because there is a need of continuous innovations for sustainability and profitability of organizations. And understanding the creativity and innovation involves understanding exactly what is involved in the specific organizational context, and what supports, facilitates, and what behavior inhibits creativity and innovation. And accordingly, we have to see what behavior can be changed of the employees or the stakeholders of the creativity group, so that it can be fostered for creativity in the organization. And there are some false assumptions. Some people are creative while others are not. Everybody has a right brain, and right brain is accountable for the generation of the ideas. So, everyone can be creative. Everyone is creative. Creativity is something people have or do not have. It is a false notion, because everyone must have some amount of creativity. Some may be exceptionally innovators, some may be low in innovation, but it is not that some people have and some do not have. All have that spark of creativity, because all have the right brain, which is accountable for creative ideas. Creativity is disruptive and counterproductive. As you mentioned earlier, without creativity, the sustainability of the firm and profitability of the firm will be questioned, and creativity is only relevant to certain departments. No, you may think that it is only applicable to design, publicity and marketing department, but creativity is required in every sphere. It is required in finance, it is required in marketing, it is required in operations, it is required in HR, and it is also required in information technology areas of the organization. So, therefore, it is applicable to all the departments, and there are some barriers to creativity, because if the people are there, they are not even if they have the potentiality for innovation and creativity, that potentiality is not harnessed or it is not used. So, there is a organizational slack. Bureaucracy is there and red tapeism prevails, as a result of which creativity is delayed, and perhaps it may not happen. And similarly, if the structure is not flexible enough, it will not accommodate the creativity and innovation, and there is a poor communication between the staff or the people, those who are creative, and the people those who are high in creativity, and the top management. If there is a poor communication, then creativity will not happen, and it is a belief that is a imported talent syndrome. What it speaks? That by bringing the people from outside, they will be only creative and they will be the innovators in the organization. It is a false notion, because if the organization does so, then the insiders will feel demotivated for creativity, and everybody has the ability to create something, and the scope must be provided for creativity. And there is also a point that if somebody takes the risk and go for a particular product or a service or a process optimization through the analysis, like business process reengineering, where you optimize time and the process, there is a risk that this may not succeed in the market. If the product is launched and the product penetrates the market, there is a chance that the new product or the new service may not sustain in the market, and there is some financial risk, because money is already invested. If you are engaged in R&D and doing something new, money is already invested for the project. But once the money is invested, and to creativity there is also no deadline. It is very difficult to stick to a particular deadline when you are expecting the creativity from the people. It takes time, and once it is successful, and if the project is successful, the product is successful or the service is successful, then there will be a perennial flow of money to the organization for all time to come. So, what we want to say, that the organization, some of the organization, they are averse that if you are going for this sort of product, there may be a if the product does not click, then whatever money we have invested to develop the product from inception or conception to the final stage, so we will not able to recover that money, we will be in loss. So, therefore, many of the organizations, they have a financial aversion to risk taking. So, therefore, we need to sustain creativity, we have to remove fear, encourage trust and sharing through better communication the ideas. And in the performance appraisal review, you make innovation a part of the employee's performance. In some organizations it is done, say for example, in scientific organization, when the performance is gauged, it gauged on the basis of the number of papers published, the number of patents filed, okay, and the number of citations the persons have received. All these are taken into consideration, particularly in scientific R&D organizations or science and technology organizations, as well as in educational institutes, those who are trying to develop the different products and different products. and to make the innovation happen, built enough looseness for staff to explore new possibilities and collaboration with others both within and outside the organization, and train the staff also to scan the environment for new trends, technologies or change in customers' mindset and so on. So, encourage the staff and raise the awareness on critical importance of divergent thinking, and therefore, they can use their experience, perspective and expertise to come with different ideas, and put the idea management system in place. Like many organizations, they have suggestion box, where people can put the suggestions if they are experiencing a problem, which will be further scrutinized by the management, and with the approval of the management it will be executed. Similarly, one such idea is quality circles, where 8 or 10 members from the same work area, they will be during the company premises, during company hours, they will discuss what we can do to improve the quality of the product or services, and there are some tools and techniques are taught to them, like cause effect diagram, then Pareto analysis. There small tools are taught to them. So, with which they can histogram, then all these tools are taught to them, so that they can do the analysis in the workplace, and they can come out with ideas, and the ideas, once it is there, it will send to the top management, and with the top management approval it will be executed. And it has been found in India and elsewhere that if you implement quality circles, it has reduced the cost, scraps have decreased, and at the same time the productivity of the farm has improved. So, these are the some of the ways how one can overcome the barrier. Additional elements to consider is that there must be enough flexibility in the organizations according to the context, culture and sensitivity to those who are in the creativity task or innovation task. And there should be ongoing development activities, if possible by means of self reflection, self evaluation and getting the constructive criticisms from others, and modify the strategies in order to continually improve the persons as well as the products and services. And motivation of the employees is also a part of it, those who are involved in the innovation task. So, therefore, the organization must take steps to motivate them. And the establishment of creative climate is also important, where mutual trust and self confidence are developed. Building a creative climate involves systematic development of organizational structures, communication policies and procedures, reward and recognition systems, training policies, accounting and measurement systems and development strategy, and all these will lead to the innovation. And also one will lead to that entrepreneurship is also closely linked with creativity and innovation, because you will find the entrepreneurs in all organizations, all of the employees are not entrepreneurs. Some people are there, those who involve from the idea generation to idea execution or implementation to market the product and services and bring profitability or bring wealth to the company. So, they are the people, those who are the star performers. Some of them are star performers, they even work beyond the call of the duty, they put a lot of hard work in the process, and ultimately they create the wealth for the organization. And such people are, of course, like highly creative people, such entrepreneurs are also rare. And if they are there, then only it will lead to this sort of culture in the organizations. All organizations, you from software to IBM to General Motors and to Maruti Udyog, every organization find there are some people, those who are innovators, and they are the people, those who have those who are innovators, those who are entrepreneurs. and that spirit is such that they take a particular idea from the conception stage to the fertilization stage and ultimately make it commercially viable in form of product and services and generate the wealth. And also teach the people the benefits of adopting basic set of entrepreneurial practices in their working life where possible. If they learn the basic entrepreneurial practices, they can apply the same to their social, civic and commercial institutions with which they are active. So, it will benefit to the organization as well as benefit to the surrounding environment in which they live. When we have all told all this, but the basic thing is that ideas are the currency to success. If you have the ideas, you can separate yourself from the competitors. So, therefore, it is essential to study what are some of the tools through which the organizational members can be creative. And there are various techniques for idea generation, and this requires the involvement of the representative of the different stakeholders, people from marketing, finance, operations, HR, IT, all need to involve so that the creative idea can be generated on a, because the problem can be of any area and the problem is not linked to one department. The problem is affecting the entire organization. So, until unless from the varied perspective the problem is seen, it will never lead to success. So, therefore, involve the stakeholders in, and by doing that what we will do? We will overcome the limited information, because when many people gather, some people will provide some information from marketing perspective, another will provide from the operations perspective, still another will provide the information from IT perspectives. So, these different perspectives when they are gathered together, it will provide a rich base of information for either for process optimization or time optimization or for new product development and so on. And it is a active learning process, because in the process when people gather together and they generate the ideas, everyone learns from the others. And it will also counter the personal bias in the sense that if I have a biased information or a biased idea with appropriate logic and information, it will be countered by the other stakeholders. And when the people involve themselves in making the decision, there will be a acceptance of the solutions. But then the question comes, how big will be that group? Generally, a small group will comprise of 8 or 10 persons or 12 persons maximum. Like in quality circle, we have this small group of 10 or 12 persons, 10 persons. So, therefore, there will be a small group, and there are some technique which they can use for idea generation, and these techniques we will discuss. These are mentioned here, you can see, and we will discuss one after another briefly. First is slip card writing. Slip card writing is a technique where each member of the group receives a pad containing 25 slips or cards. The facilitator can ask the group members to write as many alternatives as possible within 5 minutes. Each alternative must be written on a separate card or a separate slip. Keep the how to problem as specific as possible, and before and during slip writing, keep hurrying group members and telling them to write as many alternatives as coming to their mind. Instruct, do not stop to think, you are already thinking, write whatever comes to your mind. When 7-8 people are there for slip card writing, they are from different functional areas, the problem is presented to them. So, ultimately we will get a lot many ideas from the group how to sort out that problem or how to resolve the issue. Then all the ideas later on can be combined and some effective idea can be there, which can again move from the conception to the final stage of implementation. Another is a brainstorming. Brainstorming is basically storming the brains of people in group. The problem is posed and then they are asked, what is your opinion, what is your opinion, what is your opinion, like that. So, When the problem is asked and the solution is sought from the group members, one after another, the people will provide the solution. So, therefore, this is a process which operates on the basis of 4 principles. All criticisms are ruled out, no one is allowed to judge or question any idea until idea generation process is completed. Second, freewheeling is welcomed. The emphasis is on creativity and imagination. The wilder the ideas, the better. Third, quantity of alternative solutions is encouraged without reference to quality. The more the alternative generated, the greater the likelihood of useful alternative. Fourth, piggybacking is good. Everyone is encouraged to suggest how others' ideas can be turned into new ideas by combining 2 or more ideas, but there is no criticisms in the process of idea generation, or there is no question for a particular idea. So, it creates a lot many ideas by applying the brainstorming, and there is a alternative growth and stretch matrix. So, it says like this, the alternative here is written like here, that the alternative is written that insert the problem here. Then there are group members who are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then there will be, you keep here a summary column. Then when you are inserting the problem here, then the question is asked, and then some helpers are tagged to it, that what else can I do with it? Who else can use it? Where else can I use it? Like that, the group member, it will be a column like this, group members are there, and when you ask a question, all question may not be answered by all persons in the group. What you will find that the first person may answer, in the group member third may what else I do with the, or the group member 5 may answer to what else can I do with it. Okay. Who else can use it? It may be first and second person or third person may be giving the reply. Where else can I use it? The 5 and 6 may reply. Like that you can tag also when else can I use it, how else can I use it. Like that, if you can ask on going on asking the question, and lastly the group member you get a summary, what else can I do with it? The summary can be summarized. So, also in all summary column, all the summary will come, and record the members' reactions in available space. Not all space will be filled, and all questions are answered always. 2 or 3 members in group can clarify and summarize the answers against each question, that can be jotted down in the summary column for implementation. There may be little bit of discussion after the idea stage and idea growth matrix. There is similarly how to sessions is there, where the question is kept open and how to sort out this problem. And again like this, the group members can further discuss and evaluate the alternative to find out, once the ideas are generated, how to, the question is that write on a piece of paper all the different ways how you see this problem, beginning with the words how to, and once that is sorted out and ideas are generated from group members, then this can be scrutinized and some useful ideas can be used. Similarly, there is successive filtration of ideas, which speaks that it is just like a funnel type of idea generation, where a group of people will be decomposed into 2-3 small groups of 4 or 5 members, and a problem will be given. They will generate the ideas, then each group will select 10 best ideas, then they will decide who will represent their group, and the leaders of the group, all 3 or 4 groups, they will compose a new group. Again they will read the ideas, discuss the ideas, filter out the ideas, and retain 10 best ideas. And once the 10 best ideas are there, who, where, how, when and who you tag to it, attach a flip chart and the questions what, where, how, when, how you put to it, and you will find all the details for the implementation or execution of the ideas. And there is also face to face interaction group, where the people can sit together and discuss, they can get a lot of information and how to sort out a issue or how to go for a new product or a process. Another technique is called the nominal group technique. First, the problem is presented verbally. Nominal means the group is present, but there is no verbal communication among the group members. That is why the word nominal is used. First, the problem is presented verbally, such as narrating the issue and posing the question, how can the overtime be reduced and regulated? Or if it is a technology problem, then it can be pictorially or written on the flip chart, and it can be written on a blackboard. Before any discussion takes place, each member is asked to write an idea or solution independently on the paper for the issue in a fixed time. One idea, one person. Third, then all members complete writing, then one member, each member takes his turn around the table, present a single idea until all members in the group have presented the ideas, and those are recorded. Either it is recorded either in a flip chart or in a blackboard. No discussion takes place until all ideas have been recorded. Each group member is asked to rank the ideas independently according to their importance on usefulness, and implementation, along with the importance of the ideas. So, idea is implemented and the details are chalked out for the execution of the idea. Once we find the idea which is high in importance, high in usefulness and high in implementation, or high in ease of implementation. Even if a good idea is there, if there is a difficult to implement, that may not sustain in the organizations. And research has shown that this techniques gives a lot of creative ideas. Similarly, Delphi is there, where it is by the Rand Corporation in USA. First, the problem is identified, and if the problem is there, then the panel of experts are decided from different parts of the globe. They need not have to come to a physical location to make the decisions. And second, a questionnaire is carefully presented, prepared in the context of the issue of the problem to elicit possible solution from the experts with a reasons thereof. The questionnaire is sent to each expert, and each was asked to provide potential solution. Each expert independently completes the questionnaire. Third, the responses to the questionnaire are sent to the central location. Again, in the central location, the coordinator transcribes, analyzes and summarizes the responses, and the coordinator again sends the questionnaire along with the summary of responses to the same experts. After viewing the summary, the expert's opinion or the solution may change. It typically triggers new solutions and causes change in the previous solutions on the same issue. Lastly, this iteration continues until all the experts agree on a particular solution. So, it is a time taking process, but if we want to get the ideas from the experts, we can get it also. Another is group decision support systems, where it is the just like your video conferencing mode, or a group decision support system is just combine the nominal group and Delphi. People may be in different places, people may not talk with one another as in Delphi, but the decision will take place, or the particular product or service will be developed. Group members use it is a group member, it is a technique where group members, the problem is posed in the computers and it is sent to all members, all the stakeholders in the organizations. Group members use personal computers to enter or type responses or replies on the computer screen at will. Either all can use it simultaneously or over a period of time. The assisted software has many provisions for survey, polling, voting and analysis of responses with intuitive and advanced graphics. Depending on the requirement of the task, the software instantly compiles comments, summarizes text, aggregate votes, average ranks or disseminate solutions. The final response can flash on the screen of all personal computer at the push of the keyboard. So, this is a simplest technique. The idea can be stored and you can give your own ideas without stepping into other person's shoes, and once it is there, it will be stored permanently and revision can take place also, and you can revise your ideas. So, it is the with the advancement of technology, this can be a more viable options replacing the Delphi and the nominal group technique. Thank you.